Hey, what's up, YouTube? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about avoiding abusive relationships. You may not even be in a relationship, but you could be in a friendship or um, some other configuration with another human being which is toxic. And how do you recognize an abuser? Well, there's like a number of different kinds of ways someone can abuse you. Basically, it's like doing something, um, taking away your control um, to boost their ego without your consent is essentially abuse. So, a good example is like I like BDSM, but I like it coming from a place of somebody who I know loves me already, and that the BDSM it's not exhibiting, um, is not carrying over into the actual relationship outside of the bedroom or outside of the place where you're having intimacy, because that's the stinging sensations or different sensations that are given to the submissive with his consent could be really pleasurable, but the same exact thing, like say you were to smack somebody like quite hard when they were not paying attention and it wasn't, in the bedroom, and it wasn't something that was agreed upon, it was just like out of the blue, that'd be like an abusive relationship, like going outside those things. And so it was really difficult for me. I had issues getting out of it like before, because it's like the abuser in some ways, because we don't allow ourselves to become abusers, maintains some sort of power through their word, through their actions, through, and we go along with it because it's like if we don't, there's a punishment. And then suddenly it's like then we recognize it for what it is, abuse, and yet the person's still wanting emotional intimacy, love, when they are incapable of showing love without causing pain at the same time to the person they're claiming to love. A lot of times they deal with a lot of internal self-hatred and things, and so I was dating a guy who was internally homophobic and would just yell, slurs against gay people, against all different nationalities, because I honestly felt that he didn't feel very good about himself. So, basically what am I trying to say is, like, say somebody hits you or pushes you or anything without your consent, and you're uncomfortable with it, and you say that I'm not comfortable with it, and then they keep doing that same thing, that's abuse. Sometimes if they do something wrong in the beginning, like a sexual action, that's abuse, in my view. So, setting boundaries is clear, and sometimes people are abusers, and of course in some categories and not in others. Like one person might hit you, but they would never say a mean word towards you. Or another person would just destroy you with all sorts of profanity and names and try to break down your self-confidence with words, but would never actually hit you. And sometimes the person will do both, but not the. And there's a number of kinds. Financial abuse is something that I've experienced quite a lot of. That's just basically dating people who don't have money and they want to borrow your money or to have your money. Essentially, it's like if you're a bottom, a lot of times you can get away with having tops pay for you because there's sort of like this unwritten understanding between people who are a little bit more traditional in their upbringing, Catholics, Mormons, things like that. Imagine Jews, monotheistic things. So even though once they transition out of that, they still have sort of a framework of a moral code or whatnot that they might be still running on, and that would. But what about for people who are versatile? It's like they tend to be the type of people who don't want bottoms to take advantage of them, and if tops are paying for them, they don't want to owe the top money or whatever or anything, so they just would rather pay for themselves. So versatile guys are a lot more independent and a lot more flexible in their ability to find action as well. but finding a partner is a lot more difficult in my experience for somebody who is a versatile guy, because there's sacrifice involved unless you happen to find someone else who's versatile and has similar preferences as you. So that was a little bit about finding a good guy, and hopefully you guys find somebody good and awesome that will like liven up your life, and I'm sure you will.